Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video. As you probably noticed, I haven't posted content in the last 2 weeks, I believe. I went to Punta Cana. That was the last vlog that I recorded, and after that I got back and I just got super busy. I had a lot of goals with the agency, a lot of goals that we had to achieve in the last 2 weeks in order to have everything prepared for June and to be running properly. So that's where my focus went for the first 2 weeks of the month. So first of all, for those who enjoy the content and watch all the time, I'm sorry, I just been very busy, but the most important thing is to be consistent. So here I am again to shoot another video. Today I'm actually not supposed to be doing this. It's Friday night, but I set a goal for myself and I decided to cancel my plans and take advantage of this Friday night to shoot this piece of content because I have a heavy weekend. Tomorrow I have a content session with a client, 11 a.m. Saturday in Hoboken. That's gonna be a good one. And then on Sunday there's a lot of things that I want to get done. But anyways, all this to say that today's video was unprepared. I was not meant to shoot this, and I was like, what can I share that would provide value to the audience? And I realized that there are a couple of things that I've always followed in my life without even realizing, and I want to share those things with you. And the reason why I want to share it with you is because I don't think I would be where I am today without these things, and I don't think I'll get to where I want to get without these things either. So I think that these 5 things that I'm going to be mentioning in this video could be extremely helpful to all of you if you want to achieve your goals. They've been extremely helpful to me. And listen, it's not about watching content, it's not about buying courses, it's not about consuming information, it's about applying it. So all this to say that what helped me achieve my goals is implementing these things. So today I'm gonna teach them to you, but it's very, very important that you leave this video, and if you want to achieve something in your life, you actually try to apply them to your life. Listen, I think that I've been very fortunate to have all these things natural to me in my life. I think I've always enjoyed doing the hard things, but if I didn't and I could teach something to myself, it would be these things. So yeah, before starting this video, I decided to write them down, so I have them all written here, and I'm gonna go one by one. This video is not going to be the classic edited professional video that you want to see. It's for those who actually want the information. So if you watch, you're a real one and you actually want to grow and you actually want to be successful. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one that I have here is vision and belief. Again, this video is not prepared. I'm not following any sort of script, so if I take a little bit of time to tell you, just stay with me. So vision and belief, I think it's just super important to have a vision. I think I've always known where I wanted to go. I always envisioned myself in that situation. When I was young and I wanted certain things in my life, I always saw myself there before it happened. And it's not that you just have to think that you're gonna be there and because of that you're successful. That's not the type of message that I'm trying to send, but I do think that I've always envisioned myself and think that because of those thoughts, because I always knew that I was gonna get to my goals, I took the action that was necessary for me to get there. So I think that thinking positively and having a vision, it's what allows you to move forward. And when you move forward with confidence and positivity and you know that you're gonna get there, I think you move forward differently. And I think it's just super important. And with that, of course, comes belief, because if you have the vision but you don't believe in it, then what's the point? I think that you have to have the vision, you have to actually believe that you can get there. And I think you can convince yourself of it. I think that if you repeat it to yourself multiple times, you can actually get to believe that. And if you get to believe that, it actually gets dangerous because every single thing that you do on the daily basis is in order to get to those goals. So if your friends are going to a football game and they're drinking beers on a Friday night, and you decide to stay home because you have a vision and you believe that you will get there, then you're a step closer to getting there. And that starts with vision, envisioning and believing that you can get there. So that's the first one, and I think that it's super, super important. Let's go with the second one. Action, not content or courses. Honestly, I wrote it like that. Action probably has nothing to do with content or courses, but the reason why I wrote it like that is because when I'm on social media, I've always get these videos of people selling you courses, people selling you the dream, people telling you that if you buy my course, you're gonna be here. And the reality is that a lot of people will buy that course and a lot of people won't get anywhere because they don't have what it takes to get there. They don't have the vision, they don't have the beliefs, and they don't have the discipline, which I'm gonna touch on later, but they don't have the action that is required to get to that point. So the reason why I mentioned action and not courses or content is because a lot of people buy courses or they watch content and they get this dopamine hit that makes them believe that they will get there. So they get excited for like 10 minutes, 1 hour, maybe days, and then that goes away. And the reality is that that's not taking you anywhere. The only thing that will take you forward is action. The thing is that whenever you take action, you won't see results right away. You will see results in months or even years sometimes, right? But as long as you keep taking action towards those goals, the results are gonna come because you're always moving forward. You're always working on it. And the more that you act, the more that you fail. And the more that you fail, the more results that you're gonna get. So I think I've always been great at understanding that everything took time and I just had to do. So when I was young and I was a little bit chubby, I wanted to get fit. I wanted to start the next year of high school in good shape. So I don't know where, I'm not even joking. I was honestly very chubby. And in that summer, I decided that I just wanted to get really, really lean for the next school year. And I put that goal in my head. I remember going to run every single day. I had no knowledge on dieting, so I didn't do the right diet. I had no coaches or anything, so I pretty much ate nothing. I would eat just vegetables, maybe some meat here and then, chicken, but I went running every single day of that summer. And I remember the first day of school of that year, no one could believe who I was. I was just super skinny, a completely different person. And at that moment, I didn't watch content to get there. I didn't buy a course on how to get lean. I just figured out the best way to do it and I started doing. When I saw results, when I saw that by doing this, I can achieve this, which is action, I kept doing that. I just kept acting on it. And I didn't do it right, that's correct. Maybe if I paid a coach, at the moment I didn't have the money, but if I paid the coach, I probably could have avoided some mistakes, and instead of losing that much muscle like I did, I could have gotten lean in a better way. Maybe it will take a little bit longer, but I would have done it the right way. However, all I care about was just doing it, and that's what got me to the point that I wanted. So was it perfect? No, but I did it. And I think that with my business, it was the same exact thing. I never bought a course to start this business. I never had a mentor, but I'm always teaching myself new things. I'm always trying to learn from books, from content. I'm always trying to actually consume information and applying it. And listen, it's not that I don't buy a course because I'm cheap. It's just because I've always been an action person. I want to do the thing, I want to fail. And even if it takes longer, I honestly don't care. As long as I'm moving forward, I'm gonna keep achieving things. So I would rather move forward for a year and fail a lot than trying to be perfect and try to do it in 3 months, because you don't learn the same amount of lessons. And usually if it takes longer to build, you learn a lot more, which means that if everything goes away, you could do it again. So yeah, that's the second trait, that's the second lesson that I have for you guys. I think that you all should act on your goals and stop watching content. Stop trusting those dopamine hits that tell you, yes, it's going to be amazing. And the reality is that you never take action, so you're always in the same exact place that you were before. Let's go to the third one. Learn to sell. This one is hard for me to explain because this comes natural to me. But in my own words, I think it's really important to understand what other people want, understand how other people feel, and then try to provide solutions to those problems. And then, of course, you have to do certain things that will put you as the person who can solve that problem. So I'll be super honest, I don't feel super confident about this specific point because I've never broken down what got me good at sales, but I think that I'm naturally am good at sales. I think I naturally understand how other people feel and what other people want, and I know how to sell me as the solution for those problems. So I guess this goes back to belief for me, but I think it's super important. If you don't know how to sell and you don't think that you're good at sales, it's important that you learn how to sell, because that's the only way that you're gonna make money. If you don't know how to sell, you're never gonna make money in any business that you're in. I'm in marketing, but I think that in any business, you need to understand human behavior, you need to understand how other people move, how they feel, and again, you need to understand the consumer in order to sell them what they need. So that's the third one, and sorry for not going very deep into that. If I don't have the right words, I don't want to tell you guys how to do it, but again, I think that I've always been good at that. I'm not perfect, but I think that I've always been good at that. And I learned that by doing, not by buying a course. I never bought a course on selling. Maybe if I bought it now, I could get better. But anyways, all this to say that learning to sell is really important. The fourth we have here is focus and discipline. And between parentheses, I put right people. So this is self-explanatory, it's super cliche, but you have to be focused and you have to be disciplined if you want to achieve your goals. I think since I started the business, I didn't go 2 days without thinking about my job. I didn't relax for actually 1 day without thinking about my job, because I'm always thinking about it. But let's just say 2 days without taking off. And even if I go on vacation, you've seen my videos on vacation, you've seen my videos in Switzerland, you've seen my videos in Paris, you've seen my videos in Punta Cana. I'm always working, I'm always figuring out things to keep moving the business forward. And the reality is that also, because when you start a business, you are the business, because you're the only employee that you have. At this point, I have 8 employees, so if I want to take off today, I'll take off. The reality is that I don't want to take off, and focus and discipline have always come easy to me, if you want to call it. I think that I'm naturally disciplined because of these things that came to my life from a very young age, which one of them is, again, that example of going from chubby to super lean in less than 3 months. I think that taught me a lot of things about discipline, focus, taking action. And I think that since that moment, I've been applying those things to my life. But yeah, I think that you have to be super focused and super disciplined if you want to achieve your goals. And focus, I think that you will always get new opportunities. You will always get new things that will be exciting. So for example, for me, starting an AI agency right now sounds exciting. Starting this new AI business sounds amazing. But the reality is that the moment that I start doing the thing, I realize that I'm just wasting my time, because this thing that I have here, my business, is working, and I should learn how to implement new things and new technologies into that business to make it work better. But I don't necessarily need to try to follow that model because it's perfect. No business model is perfect. The one that you picked is fine. A lot of people think that, oh, I can't scale this, I can't grow this, so I'm gonna go be a barbershop. And when you're a barbershop, you're like, barbershop sucks, I need to start a new AI business. Listen, there is barbershops making hundreds of millions of dollars a year. The reality is that you haven't figured out how. So focus is one of the most important things. You will get thousands of opportunities in your life, but you have to understand that you need to be focused and you need to stick to the one that you chose. And listen, a lot of times the one that you chose does not work. So understanding that it doesn't work and you need to move to a completely different direction is fine, but do it once you actually tried everything. Because the reality is that for me right now, the marketing agency is working. I'm making money from it. I'm actually growing this business. I'm getting the life that I want from this marketing agency. So for me to say, oh, this doesn't work, it's hard to scale, I'm gonna go find a new AI business, I'm just gonna make content and sell a course, it's kind of stupid. So you will find a lot of opportunities online. You will find ways to become a coach, ways to become a content creator, ways to become this and that. But I think that the most important thing is once you choose a boat, and make sure that when you choose it, you make the right decision. Try to do research, try to understand the business, try to do all the things that will help you make the right decision. But once you make the decision, stay focused. And I also put right people here. The reason why I put right people is because having the right people by your side will definitely help you stay focused and disciplined. There are a lot of people out there that will be a very, very big distraction. So it's very important that you identify the people that you want by your side. And listen, you don't have to spend time only with people that want to achieve the same things that you want to achieve. I have friends that don't want that, but the amount of time that I spend with those friends is very limited. So maybe I'll see them here and then, I'll spend 30 minutes with them, 1 hour with them, but I'm not consistently with them. I'm not consistently playing video games with them, going out every single weekend. I choose the times that I want to spend time with them. So I'm not telling you to cut everyone, but the people that you have by your side is very important, because there are always going to be temptations. People will tell you to do this, to do that, to stop working so much. But the reality is that you have to stay focused and disciplined, and you need to have the people that push you to be better. And if you're weak and you can't push yourself, you can't afford to have those friends, so I will say cut them. Now, if you are very disciplined and focused and you can keep those friends but not do every single thing that they want, then you can keep them. But whatever you decide to do, keep them or cut them, just make sure that you stay disciplined and focused. Let's go with the last one, self-development. I think that this is one of the most important ones. One of my clients built a business to over $100 million in revenue. He does not need to make more money. He's making $100 million in revenue per year. So you make the calculation how much money he keeps. It's a lot of money. It's a lot more than he needs. It's a lot more than he will ever need. And I got the privilege of talking to him. I got the privilege of actually doing work for him, which is pretty amazing to see how those people operate. And I can tell you that the amount of self-development that guy went through to get to that point is something I've never seen before. And he even said it. He told me that he did not focus on making $100 million. He focused on becoming the person that deserves $100 million. So imagine how powerful that is. So his goal started probably with money, but his goal changed completely on the way once he achieved more than $500,000 a year, because after $500,000 a year, you can literally do anything you want. As he says, you can't buy a yacht or a private jet, but you can literally buy anything else you want. So yeah, after sitting with him and talking for a while, I can tell you that self-development is one of the most important things to focus on. And I think that I've always been really good at this as well. Even knowing who this guy was, without even listening to content or other advice from other people, naturally what comes to me when I go to the gym or when I'm in the car is listening to a podcast. I just want to listen to a podcast. I want to learn. I want to get better. And I've always got this feeling of getting better because that's what fulfills me the most. I've always wanted to learn new things. And you're going to watch this video and you're going to probably think, oh, this guy thinks he's perfect. This guy thinks he knows everything. The reality is that I don't. I probably think I do. And that's probably what helps me get to my goals. I've always been very confident about what I can achieve. And I think that the reason why I'm very confident of it is because of my actions. But anyways, I don't want to go off topic because if I keep talking, I can talk for hours. But yeah, I think that developing yourself is one of the most important things that you can do. And by this, I don't mean that if you have $10,000 in your bank account, you should spend $10,000 on a mentor. You should be smarter about your finances. But when it comes to investing in yourself, I think that is one of the best things that you can do. And by investing, I don't only mean money. Again, you can invest time by listening to podcasts. You can invest time by reading books. You can invest time by watching the right content. So I think that it's very, very important to be consistently learning because things change consistently. Right now, I'm trying to develop myself a little bit more in the AI area because I want to implement new AI techniques to the agency. I want to be on top of things. And then in the mornings, I always try to read a book or two. Well, I just finished The E-Myth, which is a really good book for any entrepreneur. And then the 90-day brand plan. These are the two books that I'm reading. One of them is for branding, for marketing. I want to get better at it. And the other one was for business. And then I'm always consistently putting my AirPods on, listening to podcasts and trying to get better. So what I will say last is that if you want to achieve your goals, you need vision, you need belief, you need action, you need to learn how to sell, you need focus and discipline, and then you need self-development. Those are the things that help me. And I hope that they can help you as well. So I hope that I achieved my goal. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you liked it. And I hope that most importantly, you were able to get some value from it. On my end, I stayed consistent. I did the thing that I told myself I was gonna do. So I'm happy. And yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.